Here's what's happening now. We're watching a major severe weather outbreak developing in the Midwest, and part of that is extending into Michigan. We'll show you what we can expect. Paula?
See this park in Royal Oak? It seems like an ordinary community park. I'm Paula Tutman, and I'll show you how it was actually transformed into a magical place to cheer up a sick little girl.
It was a surprise.
But be careful, this is a three-hanky story.
All right, Paula, also ahead, Mardi Gras celebration interrupted. A driver plows into a parade, leaving several children injured. Up first, water main crisis. A local street flooded. Residents have their water turned off. We have new information first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4. The winter weather roller coaster we've been on is about to take another dip. This is what it looks like outside right now. The forecast calls for some heavy rain this evening. Now, let's get right over to Ben Bailey for the first forecast. Ben.
Yeah, Karen, we're going to have to stay on alert tonight because we do have thunderstorms that are going to be moving into our neighborhood, even though they're not there right now. Storm Prediction Center has increased the severe risk down to our south to a moderate level. That's category 4 out of 5, almost the highest level that they put out. Even though that it starts to decrease significantly towards Michigan, we're not going to be completely out of the woods. 4 Live radar is clean right now. We do have some thunderstorms rolling up to our north, which should stay there. We're looking for our first thunderstorm threat to really develop after the sun goes down tonight. So the bottom line is this evening to sunrise is when we're watching for these thunderstorms. They'll likely come in multiple rounds. Biggest impacts are going to be from heavy rain and also the possibility of strong winds. A higher chance of those storms being stronger in our south zone than anywhere else, but really anybody could see a pretty significant downpour out of these storms. So we'll break down that threat and talk about the wintry finish to come, all in a few minutes. Karen?
Now, breaking news from Wayne County, where a police chase zipped through 2 cities. Westland police were in the middle of a traffic stop when the van came back as stolen. The driver took off and eventually crashed into a tree in Van Buren Township near a rest stop at I-94 and Belleville Road. The suspect is at the hospital right now with minor injuries. The investigation is just getting started. We're also tracking a water main break that flooded a neighborhood on Detroit's west side. This started on the corner of Pickford and Trinity about 7 o'clock this morning. A woman whose home is in the area says she called police after noticing the water while taking her kids to school. When she got home, she found her basement had flooded as well.
So I panicked a little bit because I didn't know if I was supposed to come to try and get somebody to let them know that it was coming, that the same thing that was outside was coming into my basement or what. So I just went and got the broom and just started trying to push the water over to the drains as much as I could.
The water was turned off for a few hours in that neighborhood, but the city tells Local 4 it was turned back by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let's move to Ypsilanti, where nearly 250 students were forced to evacuate their dorm because of a fire. Flames were reported early this morning in Phelps Hall at Eastern Michigan University. Residents quickly rushed out of the building as the fire spread from the lounge on the main floor. Students heard the fire alarm and helped each other to safety.
I had to wake up my roommate because she was still sleeping, and then when I went downstairs I saw like smoke out of the first floor, and it was like we covered our mouths just because you could see the smoke.
One student was sent to the hospital for smoke inhalation but is expected to be okay. The cause of the fire under investigation. Much of the nation and the world will be watching Washington tonight as President Donald Trump delivers a primetime address to Congress and the American people. Devin Skillian joins us now with the latest on what the leaders of both political parties really expect to hear tonight.
The president's first year in office generally does not include a State of the Union address, but tonight's speech is expected to kind of resemble one of those. The president will describe where the nation is, how it got to this point, and what he plans to do to now move the country forward. Video aides to the president look for him to talk about his actions like pulling out of the Pacific Rim trade deal, the TPP, also his plans on repealing Obamacare, and more importantly on that topic, what's ahead next. The White House has already said the president will propose a boost in defense spending as much as $54 billion. To offset that, we expect to see cuts in spending elsewhere. But where will those be? Associated Press reports the State Department and international aid budgets will be cut by more than a third. In fact, Speaker of the House sees support for more defense spending.
But this is a promise that he made that we also ran on, which is our military has been hollowed out. We have gutted our military in many, many ways, and we've had huge increases in domestic spending. So he's trying to get that balance right.
Leader of the Senate Democrats, Charles Schumer, predicts the president's policies will only benefit the wealthy and not the middle class. Other Democrats are critical of the president's immigration plans. Now, another similarity between tonight's presidential speech and a State of the Union address is the opposing party is going to offer a response. Former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear will deliver that response. He's been a strong supporter of Obamacare. A lot of people will be watching. You can see it live here tonight, coming up later on tonight. Karen, back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Devin. You can watch President Trump's address and the Democratic response right here on Local 4, or watch the live streaming at clickondetroit.com. Coverage starts at 9 o'clock. First at 4, we're also tracking stories from around the world. In Alabama, 12 students are injured after a car plowed into them during a Mardi Gras parade. Police say a 73-year-old man ran into the students just before noon. 4 of those students are critically injured, while 8 others suffered less serious injuries. At this time, police do not believe the man intentionally hit the students. He's being questioned by police. Take a look at this as lightning strikes the Space Needle in Seattle. It happened during a winter storm Monday afternoon. The staff of the Space Needle say lightning strikes only hit the landmark a few times a year. This one happened to be caught on camera. Now, fortunately, the strike did not cause any damage or injuries, and the forecast is improving in Seattle. There's nothing like a flash mob to make you smile, tap your feet, or maybe even shed a few tears. The big dance number was a special surprise for a young girl who's celebrating a birthday as she is fighting cancer. Our Paula Tutman has the story of how so many people came together to create a movie star moment for her. This is such an inspiring story, Paula.
It really is, Karen. And you know what? Tessa may not have been feeling her best for her birthday celebration, but this celebration might just be the best memory ever. Tessa was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 5.
Neuroblastoma. Yes, I know. It's a long name. Long name.
Her bones often ache, and she is in constant rotations of chemo, radiation, stem cell trials, a revolving door of experimental treatments to coax that cancer into remission. Yet, Tessa cheerfully shows us her wardrobe of headscarves.
12, 13, 14.
Her mother says when you have a child diagnosed with cancer at age 5 and she still has it on her 9th birthday,
to discover your own child has stage 4 cancer, it takes you to, you go into a different world, just like that.
But yesterday, from the park across the street, Tessa was transported from that world of cancer.
But I feel better when I'm dancing. Better when I'm dancing.
This birthday flash mob dance routine was created by 300 volunteers, friends, fans, and Gilda's Club of Royal Oak, which has held this family close to their hearts every inch of the way. Needless to say, Tessa was shocked, shy.
I saw balloons and people, and then I just hid my face in my dad's shoulder.
And then, all in.
I love Dad.
And today, for Tessa, cancer is somewhere in the background. The most important thing in her world today is she's still feeling the magic from the park across the street. Well, take a look. You can see the gift that keeps on giving. Some of the balloons got stuck in the trees, and they really just look like stars. You know what? Gilda's Club does a lot of different things for families and people who are fighting cancer. They like to say they color outside the lines, and this is just one of those very colorful examples. Karen, I do want to tell you, anytime I meet children, as I say goodbye, I always say, grow up and make me proud. And as I was leaving Tessa this afternoon, I said, Tessa, grow up and make me proud. And she promised that she would. Oh. Karen?
I love it. You are so right. And what's also really wonderful about this story, the fact that all these volunteers gave so much to her, but Tessa gave them so much too and gave them strength and belief. So that's, you know, it's full circle.
Absolutely. I mean, look at those little kids in the front row dancing.
Yeah.
They're going to remember this as well.
Definitely a day to remember forever. All right. Thank you, Paula. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We do have some breaking news just into our newsroom. Moments ago, a large crowd of more than 100 people erupted in cheers after a judge determined that Yusuf Ajin, a father of 4 from Ann Arbor, can stay in the country. He was given a rare waiver, which allows him to stay permanently unless he commits a crime. Now, the reason, it would cause, quote, irreparable harm to his family if he was deported. Ajin is the primary breadwinner and has a disabled child. He was detained during a routine check-in with ICE agents last month after 18 years of living in the U.S. Still ahead, first at 4, many of us can't live without our smartphones, but could you go back to a so-called dumb phone if the price is right? Also, Dr. McGeorge is here. Hi, Doc.
Hey, Karen, who doesn't love stuffed animals? Coming up, I'll reveal how teddy bears like this could be your secret weapon when it comes to encouraging your children to read.
Up first, an Olympic hero goes to Capitol Hill. Why Michael Phelps is asking Congress for help. That story next, first at 4.
You won't believe.
Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
It's one of the hardest jobs in America, and it's getting tougher every year.
When you get that public viewpoint of, you know, people saying, you know, kill policemen and target them.
Applications to become a police officer are way down, but one local deputy feels it's his duty to encourage more people to join the force.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Swimmer Michael Phelps, who has won more Olympic medals than any other American, testified in Washington today about the problem of doping in sports. Phelps and others in the U.S. Olympic movement told a House subcommittee about the need for stricter international rules. Phelps says he's been frustrated competing against athletes from other countries who get away with cheating.
I don't believe that I've stood up on at an international competition and the rest of the field has been clean. I don't believe that. I don't think I've ever felt that. And I know that when I do stand up in the U.S., I know we're all clean because we're going through the same thing. We're going through the whereabouts.
Phelps and the other witnesses want Congress to help enact an anti-doping system that is fair and reliable. Let's talk good health. Tomorrow is the start of Reading Month, and Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with kind of a fun new idea to help encourage your kids to read a little more, and it has something to do with stuffed animals.
Brought a little audience today. Basically, you know, kids love stuffed animals. Who doesn't, actually? So researchers in Japan wanted to see if including stuffed animals would make reading more appealing. So the researchers hosted a book sleepover for stuffed animals, where adults took photos of the stuffed animals exploring and reading together. And the next day, the children looked at the photos of what their stuffed animals did during the night. For several days following the sleepover, the children showed more interest in picture books and began to read to their stuffed animals. So this is something that you can do at home by helping your child pick a book that their favorite stuffed animal might actually enjoy. For example, Bear Who Dares. What bear wouldn't love that? And reading it together with them. Previous studies have actually found reading to a pet can also be effective.
So the pet will stand still, but you're right, if the pet's going to sit there.
And that might be Pete the cat as opposed to Bear Who Dares. But, you know, this really encourages kids to read because they have a reason to read. They're talking to their bear, they're talking to their pet.
And it kind of makes them feel like a big kid. And so they like that role. I know my 4-year-old likes to kind of feel like she's in charge. So I think she would like that. I'm going to try that at home.
I think it's a winner.
All right, thanks, Doc. All right, Ben, let's send it over to you and see what's up for the rest of our afternoon.
Yeah, by the time we hit the bed with those bedtime stories, that's about when we're going to see these storms ramp up. And we told you at the top of the show, it's really going to be rainfall that's going to be the biggest threat. Look at how much of the area is going to pick up more than 1 inch of rain. This is all the blue shades here. A couple spots, and very difficult to pinpoint exactly where, but we may see a couple locations that get upwards of 2 inches of rain from these thunderstorms that are going to come in multiple waves tonight. The first of which is likely going to be here closer to about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. It's just clouds out there right now in dry conditions. 55 is the current temperature. We'll see these temperatures stay relatively steady through these thunderstorms. In fact, really even into tomorrow morning before we actually start to see numbers rise towards lunchtime tomorrow. Winds are out of the south at 14. There's that area that we showed you north of us that's going to stay there. We're focused on this area where we'll start seeing thunderstorms develop here shortly, and then they'll start rolling in here again after the sun goes down, probably closer to 8, 9 o'clock when we see that first round of thunderstorms. The second round that's going to come through closer to midnight is going to be packing a little bit more of a punch. A lot of heavy rainfall embedded with here, and also the possibility that some of these storms could have winds that get to severe limits. So we'll be watching for that overnight too. And that last push of thunderstorms comes through just around sunrise tomorrow morning. That's going to be it as it exits about 7, 8 o'clock during the morning commute. Still some lingering rain in our north zone, but a lot of us are going to stay dry through the daytime hours. Once we get into the afternoon, rain and then also snow starts moving in the second half of Thursday, and it may be enough to coat the ground in a couple locations. Overnight lows tonight are going to be at 53. Thunderstorms that we do see will be strong. Again, heavy rainfall is going to be the largest threat. Look at the difference between that noontime temperature of 60 degrees and what we're going to see just after the sun goes down. We'll dip down below freezing to 30 degrees, and we'll show you that in our 4-zone forecast. This is our 5 p.m. temperatures. Look at how much of a difference there is across the area. We'll still be close to 50 degrees in the city. West Bloomfield, you'll already be at 36. South zone temperatures will be close to the mid-40s across most of the area, but our west zone will be down below freezing. Again, this is all at 5 o'clock tomorrow. You see 31 up in Flint, 31 in Fenton. Novi will be at 37, and still some 40s here from Ann Arbor and Manchester. North zone, you'll already be below freezing across much of that zone, except for down near M59 where those temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s. And then we'll continue watching those numbers drop all the way into the mid-20s by the time we start out Thursday morning. So your 7-day forecast shows us the temperatures barely getting back to the freezing mark here on Friday. We will start warming back up into the weekend with a chance of showers late Sunday, but it's tonight that we'll be watching for those strong storms, so keep it here on Local 4. Karen?
Still ahead, trending stories, a new cell phone that is a blast from the past, and you won't believe the price. Plus, the tweet that may have derailed the Academy Awards. But up first, Carnival chaos caught on camera. We will show you what happened when part of a float came tumbling down. Next. Check this out from Rio de Janeiro's world-famous Carnival parade. Earlier today, the top of a float collapsed. Officials say at least a dozen people were hurt. The parade was stopped while medical crews helped the people who were hurt, but was allowed to continue once the scene was cleared. At this point, the cause of the accident is under investigation. Let's talk trending stories on your Thursday, or I should say Tuesday. It is a blast from the past from one cell phone company. Nokia is rolling out a new line of so-called dumb phones. That's right, dumb phones. It's the new version of the iconic 3310. When the phone first launched back in 2000, it could only take calls and send a text. The new phone's almost as simple, but does come with a camera, a micro SD slot, and limited ability to surf the web. The price is about $50. And in case you missed it, we are hearing that a badly timed tweet may be to blame for the biggest Oscar mix-up in Hollywood history. The Wall Street Journal is reporting accountant Brian Cullinan from PricewaterhouseCoopers tweeted a backstage photo of Emma Stone just before handing the wrong envelope to Warren Beatty. Then Beatty and Faye Dunaway announced La La Land as the winner when it was really the movie Moonlight. Accounting firm has apologized. So far, though, no one's lost their job over the mix-up.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened
before. That it hasn't happened before?
No, I mean, that
they even said when they did an interview, they said they actually had some of the winners all memorized. So in case there was an envelope switch or mix-up, they would be able to tell it. But if you're taking pictures and tweeting, you might.
Not
ouch.
good.
Still ahead, first at 4, a dinner date you would never forget, especially if you're afraid of heights. We'll be right back.
Make your bonus.
Finally, first at 4, imagine having dinner while hanging in midair.
I don't know what that would do for your digestion, but this is called Dinner in the Sky. A group of customers and staff are hoisted more than 160 feet off the ground. This event is in Dubai, but they've actually happened all over the world.
Kind of cool, right? Manager says it's perfectly safe to dangle in the air, enjoy the view, and have a good meal. We contacted Dinner in the Sky about the price. Dinner seating is about $190 a person.
And
I just don't know if I'd feel comfortable being strapped in like that.
No, just go to the coach and sing you.
Yeah, look out the window and there you go. Thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. We are back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next.